to the program Health Super 7, a show where we bring you the latest tips, insight, and expert advice to help you live your best and healthiest life. I am Irene Okechukwu, and I am thrilled to be your host on this journey towards better well-being. Today, we will be addressing stigma and awareness about the DHH individuals and how it affects their mental health. Already, we have had an incredible lineup of guests, including professionals, personal stories from real people, and practical tips you can start using today. So whether you are here to learn, get inspired, or simply take a step closer to your health goals, you are at the right place. Let's dive into healthy living. Stay tuned. You wouldn't want to miss out what is coming. To be part of the show, you can watch us on Rapid TV channel 176 on Star Times, or you can follow us on all our social media handles on official Rapid TV. So today's episode, we are going to be looking at addressing stigma and raising awareness about deaf and hard to hearing individuals, as it is a critical, especially considering the profound impact stigma can have in their mental health. Here's an in-depth approach because stigma can lead to exclusion, leaving the deaf and hard to hearing individuals feeling isolated or disconnected from their communities, which can cause frustration and alienation, contributing to anxiety and depression, inadequacy and low self-esteem, and also self-doubt. That is why we are going to be discussing the strategies to addressing stigma and promote awareness so that the deaf and hard to hearing individuals will have a sense of belonging, and this will encourage widespread of learning of sign language to break down communication barriers. So if you're ready to learn a sign language to someone, just sit back and join me while we join the conversation. Today, I'm not going to be alone as usual. I have professionals. I have a sign language translator, also an interpreter. She's not just a sign language interpreter, she's also an engineer. She has diverse wealth of knowledge in terms of interpreting languages to the deaf and also hard to hearing individuals. She has worked in several places, of which I can't mention everything, but here is her today to interpret what we need to know about sign language. You're welcome on the program Health 247.
Thank you very much. Good to see you this afternoon again. My name is Engineer Hannah Olayinka. I'm an engineer and interpreter also. I work in both communities. Thank you.
It's good to have you here.
Thank you.
It's good to have one of our own. He works with the National Commission for Persons with Disability. I think if you can just help introduce him, please.
Okay, good afternoon. Thank you very much for this invitation. My name is Umaru Zayanu. I am the youth leader for the deaf community. I have been working in the community for the deaf. I work at the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities also as a deaf interpreter.
Interesting. You're all welcome to the program Health 247. As you all know, Health 247 is a program that discusses everything pertaining to your health and always making health your priority. So today you're going to share us your experience as a sign language interpreter before we can delve into the subject of the day.
Okay, thank you very much. This afternoon I will be doing total communication, meaning I will speak and interpret at the same time.
Just killing two birds
for the benefit of the deaf person with us this afternoon. Again, my name is Engineer Hannah Olayinka. I work with the deaf community as sign language interpreter. I started this as a child, I think around age 10 or so. I was in secondary school. I saw some people, they were not talking, but they were using their hands and happy. I picked interest in that and determined to learn sign language. And today, I am where I am. So in the course of working with the deaf people, I have seen a lot of things that happened. Most times, if I follow deaf people to any event, when they want to talk to the deaf people, when people want to relate with deaf people, sometimes they will focus on me instead of the deaf person. So this brings a lot of challenges or discouragement sometimes to the deaf people. And most times I correct this by telling people that focus on the deaf person. I will do whatever voice that the deaf person will need. This is part of our challenges that we face. Because most times deaf people, we feel that we neglect them, or we feel that they have low self-esteem, which is not true.
Yeah.
This is part of the challenges we face.
So what are those misconceptions people have, like in the community, the misconception people have about the deaf and hard of hearing people?
Number one, they believe that deaf people are dumb. You would have heard that people call them deaf and dumb people. No, that is a wrong word.
Yeah.
Dumb means stupid, that the person can't reason for himself.
Yeah.
But that is not true. At the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities, the first pioneer ES that we have, the executive secretary, was a deaf person. You can imagine deaf rising to that level officially.
Wow.
They are not dumb at all. They have their own sense of reasoning. The only thing they can't do is to talk or hear. But every other thing that other person can do, deaf people can do that. Another thing is that they believe that they can't do some things for themselves. There is nothing a deaf person or hard of hearing person can't do. My director at the office has his own personal car. He drives on the road, and if you did not meet him before, you can't know that he is a deaf person. He drives on the road. Most times people ask, how does he hear about when the car is on? But you don't need that. Outside the country, you don't need to hoot before you drive.
Yeah.
You can drive without that. And he has been doing this successfully without any accident before.
Interesting. So in terms of stereotype, how do the society look at the DHH individuals? Because you know that it affects their mental health, because some of them are being discriminated, stigmatized. So how do society, look at them?
Thank you very much. You said most of them have been discriminated in time past.
Yeah.
You know, for every action there is a reaction. That is what happened.
Yeah.
For most of them, they usually say that deaf people are aggressive. That is not the truth. The reason is past experience that they have, saying that people always look down on them.
Yeah.
It makes them feel frustrated that, why can't you believe in us for once? And for them to protect themselves from more occurrences, they try to stand against it, and people call them that they are very aggressive. But it's not true. Number one misconception. They believe again that they can't do things for themselves. They can't reason. They can't do technology. They can't involve in technology things. But that is not true. There is nothing a deaf person can't do. Anything that persons without disability can do, persons with disabilities, deaf also can do it.
Interesting. Okay. So in terms of the emotional impact of being excluded or misunderstood, how do you see it in a social setting?
Thank God for Nigeria. In 2018, President Buhari signed into law Discrimination Against Persons with Disability Prohibition Act, which is the law that protects the rights of persons with disability. I usually tell people that disability rights are human rights. Whatever persons with disability request from you is their normal human rights, which is supposed to be respected. So with this law, most people have started understanding that, these people are the same person as us without disability. They can reason, they can walk, they can do whatever you want them to do. And these have seriously reduced stigmatization against persons with disabilities. And this is bringing them to the limelight for everybody to see that, oh, they are capable. And we usually say that there is ability in disability. And the community, the society is also seeing this as true, that truly there is ability in disability.
In terms of health, how do persons with disabilities, especially the deaf and hard to hearing individuals, access health care and also accommodation? Truly,
this is very challenging one.
Okay.
Because health centers have places that are not accessible. Interpreter services are not there.
Wow.
And workers in the health centers, they are not aware of the disability or how to treat them. The attention to persons with disabilities are very poor. I could remember at a time I was sick, I went to the hospital. There was no interpreter to interpret for me.
Wow.
I was trying to write down for the doctor, and my time was being wasted. I was very angry, but when the time came, I needed to train the doctor. In this situation, okay, what about if my challenge is that sickness that day is an emergency thing? What would have happened? There is no accessibility in the hospital, and it affects persons with disabilities, especially the deaf at the hospitals. Communication barrier.
Interesting. This is a very difficult one. So in terms of accommodation and trying to get in, because we're already in the tech world, for instance, in terms of how do people access technological things, like things have advanced. So for instance, now if you want to access accommodation, want to access technology, how do they access it?
Technology is just a global thing. It is very difficult for most people to change to this, because in Nigeria we don't have some of the accessible features. In the advanced countries, their technology is very easy and it is accessible to every person with disabilities. But in Nigeria, no. And our internet is very poor also. The fees are very high. But most importantly is that we want interpreter person, one-on-one interpreter that can interpret to us and sign and interpret to others about what we are saying. Most times there's confusions in this, and mostly approaches that people give us when we go to them. They believe that once they write for us, we can do it.
Wow.
But it's not everybody that understands that one. Most times they believe that having caption will help. But it doesn't help us. But once there is interpreter, it covers everything.
So for instance,
especially interpreters.
So for instance, just a second, your phone. So for instance, if I call him now and I want to hear from him, how will he know that I'm calling him, and how will he know his phone is ringing, and who will be able to translate what I'm saying? For instance,
fine. I get you. I get your point. Now I'm using phone. I saved your name.
Oh wow, wow.
If you call me, I will pick it. I will text you back and tell you that please text me. I can read. Text me.
Interesting.
But in the advanced country or WhatsApp, you can call me or video chatting. If you do video chatting, if I can understand your mouthing, the way you are speaking, I can repeat your words. Fine. But if not, you communicate with chatting. We can chat on WhatsApp.
That's impressive. That's impressive. So, moving forward, what role does the community or peer support to play the mental well-being of persons with disability, that is, the deaf and hard to hear?
Truly, my community do a lot.
Okay.
We make people around understand what person with disabilities are, especially the deaf, because most people just look down on us because of our culture, deafness. Our community is trying to create more awareness on TV, on different events, to friends, our loved ones, even if we can encourage them for deaf to marry their hearing people. It's not deaf to deaf alone.
Okay.
So this will make us to interact together, make the society a better one, an inclusive one.
Interesting. All right, viewers, it's been a very interesting conversation. We are going to go on a short break, and when we return, we are going to continue where we stopped. So don't go nowhere, for we'll be right back. Viewers, welcome back on this very interesting conversation, and I am here with me the sign language interpreter, which is teaching me some sign languages, and I'm just trying to pick one. I don't know what does it mean to be right back and to go. Okay. Okay, coming back. I'm learning. You have to learn like me. All right, moving forward, I just want to ask, what does society do to reduce stigma and also promote inclusivity to the deaf and hard of hearing individuals?
First, let society accept us.
Okay, let them accept us
for who we are. Not because of our condition. They should accept us for who we are, because we do not make ourselves who we are. We did not ask God to make us deaf. We did not went to the market to buy deafness. And doctors do not have, they can't change us. But God, for His own purpose, created us who we are. Let the society accept us first.
Interesting. That's very good. At least the society should accept us, that accept who they are and not stigmatize them, right? So the next one is, what message would you like to share with the deaf and hard of hearing individuals about how you can support them?
Fine. First, is to the deaf, my deaf fellow, mine. I know that there are many deaf persons like me who they don't have opportunity to be where I am today.
Okay.
First, I want them to accept who they are. Let's approach the situation. They are on the way. For truth, it is life. You face whatever challenges that come your way. Many of us deaf, we have a lot of challenges today. Let us come out. Prove to the world that you are different. To the parents of the deaf children, they are hiding them.
Exactly.
Because of shame, embarrassment, or people to know that, oh, me, I have a deaf child. Please don't kill the success of your children. Bring them out, bring them to the disability schools. There are places where they can learn and they will change the whole world. Like myself, I became deaf at age 5.
Wow.
And after that, because I was sick of yellow fever, so I entered the world of silence. My friends left me alone. My family left me alone because I couldn't hear them again. No communication again. There's confusion. So, but I went to school, and this school has changed me. I learned sign language, and that is my first language, and that's how I communicate today. My advice to people around: come out, deaf, come out, face the challenge. You will succeed also. Thank you very much.
Oh, I love that. It's so motivating and inspiring for him. Losing at least he was not able to talk at a very tender age, and yet he did not give up. He kept on pushing. Like, it's a great motivation and more like an inspiration to individuals, especially those who are watching us at home. If you have a hard to hearing problem, do not hide yourself. Come out. Come and share your problems. Come and learn. Don't hide yourself. If you do not have problem with hearing or anything, if you are not you don't have hearing impediment or something, do not stigmatize. Do not discriminate. So I want to ask you another question. I think just the last but not the least. What keeps you motivated to advocate for awareness and inclusivity despite the challenges you face?
What keeps me advocating for this is because I want the whole world understand who we are truly.
Interesting. I love that.
First, our problem comes as a result of circumstance.
Wow.
But once there is interpreter, I feel better. Okay, when there is absence of interpreter, I feel bad. I feel neglected. I decided to approach them. So tell them, you have not done justice to me. But I'm here to share my experience to you. But you are here, you've left me because there's no provision of interpreter. From there, they start to think what to do. They contacted interpreters around just like you. I told them who to call and they come. They join me at the event. And I make better advocacy in places like that. From there, I'm always invited to give advice, advocacy on what the society needs to know about the deaf. These are part of what keeps me going. And it has been helping. And I'm still doing it. Thank you.
So for what of those who are kind of, they still feel a bit stigmatized and they don't want to come out at all, and also they have these mental issues, because most of the times when you go to society and people look down on you, they discriminate you, they stigmatize you, you will not even want to show yourself. What kind of advice will you give for them last?
I again say there is no way you will live with that challenge. Come out and face your challenge.
Interesting.
And you will succeed.
Interesting. All right, Engineer, and it's been a very lovely conversation with you on this very topic. And honestly, the only thing I learned today was come. And we'll be right back, right? Come, and we'll be right back. I feel so loved. Like, I love to do this. Like, it's more like a joy giver to me, and I feel so fulfilled speaking to you all on this conversation. And I know that there's some people watching us home and they feel like, oh, look at us, we are hiding while we are seeing our colleagues like us, our mates like us coming out to speak. Like, it's something great. So viewers, if you're watching from home, we are just urging you all, do not discriminate persons with disabilities. Instead, learn sign language. If it's something that is difficult, at least learn one thing. Like today I've learned come, right? Be right back. I've learned 2 things, not one. So this is much we can take on this very episode, and we're going to have more of these in our next edition. So it's so nice having you on this program, Health 247. So nice. No, just a thank you very much. So it's so nice having you on this very conversation.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for having me. If you call us again, we come, surely come. Thank you.
Definitely time like this is going to come, and we know we'll keep having you. You are now part of us, like more like a family. So yeah, this is the much we can take on this very edition, and see you next time on our next edition. It's been your host, Irene Okechukwu. So next time we're going to see you on our next edition. So bye for now. I've learned 3 things.